This is the Morning Swim Show for Friday, April 30th, 2010. I'm your host, Peter Bush, and in the Finis Monitor today, our producer, Garrett McCaffrey, will join us once again from Ireland, where he's traveling with America's NCSA Junior All-Star team. We'll also have the results from this week's poll question and a new poll question. But first, let's go to Garrett. He's in the Finis Monitor right now from Dublin. Garrett, how you doing?
Doing well, Peter. How are you?
Good. How was the swimming on day one?
It was pretty good. I mean, a lot of these kids are coming off of short course season, and like I talked to you about the other day, they're not tapered, they're not shaved, so all the coaches were very happy with some good long course swimming today.
All right, what were the events that everybody got excited about, the swims?
Believe it or not, the 1500 was the first event of the day, and it was the best race of the day. The guys got it started. Dan Thompson from NCSA All-Stars. He won the 1650 at Junior Nationals in Orlando in one of the early heats, kind of a random story. But today he led the first 1,450 meters of the race. At the last turn, Andrew Megan, who had kind of snuck up on him a little bit at the 500 and then kind of snuck up on him a little bit at the 1,000 but could never get by him, flipped and somehow found another gear that Thompson was unable to match. And it just ignited the home crowd. Everybody was going crazy. USA was obviously going crazy for their boy as well. But the first race of the night was definitely the best. That was the one that got everybody up and going. There were some very strong other swims. I'm telling you guys, Clay Youngquist. Remember this name. This kid has the most natural feel for the water that I've seen in a long, long time. He practices 5 days a week, but he was able to bust out a 151 in the 200 freestyle today. He had to double up and do the 200 butterfly, which wasn't real pretty, but he's also a 1,000 swimmer. He does the 400 later this week. And I'm telling you, the kid just has this ability to find gears. He can just kind of switch in and switch out. And I know if you guys get a chance to go back and watch some of the videos from NCSA juniors, you can notice what this kid is capable of doing. And it's amazing. And he won the 200 freestyle today versus some older guys who it was 151 and change. I don't have the results right in front of me. But that's a name to definitely look out for. There was also a really fast 100 backstroke on the women's side from a Great Britain swimmer. Her name is Georgia Davis. Busted out a 101 low and blew away the field in that 100 backstroke today. So those are the two swims that come to mind. Some USA dominance in the 400 freestyle relay.
I see you've been working on your Irish tan, looking nice and pale over there. Have you gotten to go outside and enjoy Ireland at all?
Not much. It's a funny story. I actually got to drive for the first time today. Had to make a run back to the hotel, and I thought that the shifter on the left side would be the tricky part, but the tricky part is getting used to having the rest of the car on the left side. I might have clipped a curb at one point, but no real damage done, and I actually was pretty proud of the performance, all things considered. We went down to the city center once so far. I mean, there's just not a lot of time between the hotel and the pool. Again, we're here for a swim meet, and so there's not a lot of time to explore. But we got to spend about a half hour, 45 minutes down in city center because it took us an hour to get down there, which it really should only have taken 30 minutes. But we drove around. We saw some of the sights. Definitely planning on seeing more of that as the weekend progresses. And then on Monday, we've set aside a full day for sights and whatnot.
Are there any big-name swimmers from Britain there, or is it mostly the Irish and the Americans?
Yeah, I guess I should have mentioned this when you asked about the top swims. Hannah Miley won the 200 free and the 200 fly. She was 200 in that 200 freestyle, 211, 212 in the 200 butterfly, and she looks smooth. She's the IMer with the British national record, Great Britain's national records in both the 4 and the 1. I mean, we've interviewed her on the morning swim show, and she's a stud. She looked very smooth, very in control. I wasn't overly impressed this morning, and the reason being she didn't need to be overly impressive this morning because that's exactly what she was tonight.
All right, thanks, buddy. Have a good weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, PB. Talk to you later.
All right, that's Garrett McCaffrey joining us from Dublin, and we will be right back with the new poll of the week.
Northwestern University. Exceptional academic opportunities. 2 beautiful lakefront campuses. A collaborative community. Lifelong friendships. Northwestern University.
All right, the poll question this week was, which of this year's big swim meets are you most excited about? And the overwhelming majority of you went with the Pan Pacs. 70% of you said you can't wait for the Pan Pacs this year. Just 18% said European Championships and 12% for the Commonwealth Games. All right, new poll question with the AT&T USA Diving Grand Prix starting next weekend. Who is America's most popular diver right now? I'll give you a few choices here. David Budaya, Kelsey Bryant, Troy Dumais, Haley Ishimatsu, Nick McCrory, or Ariel Rittenhouse, or other, if you don't like any of those 6 choices. You can go to swimmingworld.com to cast your vote. And that's it for the show today. Have a nice weekend. I'm Peter Bush, reminding you to keep your head down at the finish.